And secondly, at what stage are you going to put together that GNU envoy to go to the United States? And who will be replacing Mr. Rasool?
Well, Ibrahim Rasool will be coming back soon, as the U.S. State Department has ruled that he is no longer acceptable in the U.S. And he's going to come back and give me a full report. So I will wait for a full report from him. But at the same time, we have noted the displeasure that has been expressed by the United States, particularly about the remarks he made. And we have noted that, and we will engage with them as we are already engaging with them. And engagement with them continues, and it's going to take a variety of forms. It's going to be through envoys, it's going to be through people either from the business community, labor, and a whole number of others, also from government. Improving our relationship with the United States of America is a priority for us. They are our trading partner, second largest trading partner after China, and we will therefore seek, as we must, to ensure that our relations are on a good footing, which is one thing that we do with all countries in the world. South Africa seeks always to have good relations with all countries in the world. We don't have enemies in the world. We always seek to have very good and friendly relations. So sometimes relations with nations do go through their ups and downs. And as they go through their ups and downs, the responsible thing to do by any nation is to make sure that you deal with the challenges that there are, you straighten out the difficulties, and we've always found that when there are such challenges and we engage, we do find solutions. So this is precisely what we are now going to do, and this is our job. This is our responsibility as a government to advance the interests of our country as well as the interests of the people of South Africa.
You know, guys, what I really find strange is that when you listen to President Ramaphosa speaking about the relationship between South Africa and the United States of America, you would sincerely think that these are the people that are trying to mend the relationships with the United States of America. But if you look at their actions actually contradict what the president is saying. Because if mending the relationship with the United States of America, that terrorist-loving ambassador of ours in the United States wouldn't say all of these things that he said about a country that was actually hosting him. So how is it possible that the president can say that we want a healthy relationship with the United States of America, but on the other side, the Palestine and the Hamas-loving and the Iran-loving ambassador of ours is busy attacking the same people that the president is trying to mend the relationship with? I honestly cannot understand. And guys, you know, last week, when this terrorist-loving ambassador of ours actually went out and attacked the president of the United States by basically calling him a supremacist, some people said that, Thomas, you know what is going to happen? They are going to blame AfriForum and Solidarity for this. And I said, and this is a lie. There is no way that the mainstream media and other people on the left can actually blame AfriForum and Solidarity for what this guy has actually said about the president of the United States. Because here, this guy is using his own potty mouth, saying nasty things about a country that is actually hosting him. So if there is one person that actually should be held accountable, it's this guy, because these are his own words. But some people, they kept on saying, Thomas, you don't understand how the South African politics actually works. The fact that AfriForum and Solidarity went to the United States to try to salvage the AGOA deal, that the ANC seems like they don't care about it anymore. They don't care about a number of jobs that are potentially on the line. They are going to blame AfriForum and Solidarity for this person's words. They are not going to hold this person accountable for his own words, but they are going to blame AfriForum for it. You remember, this is what this terrorist-loving ambassador of ours said about the President of the United States.
I think what Donald Trump is launching is an assault on incumbency, those who are in power, by mobilizing a supremacism against the incumbency at home, and I think I've illustrated abroad as well. So in terms of that, the supremacist assault on incumbency, we see it in the domestic politics of the USA, the MAGA movement, the Make America Great Again movement, as a response, not simply to a supremacist instinct, but to very clear data that shows great demographic shifts in the USA, in which the voting electorate in the USA is projected to become 48% white, and that the possibility of a majority of minorities is looming on the horizon. And so that needs to be factored in so that we understand some of the things that we think are instinctive, nativist, racist things. I think that there's data that, for example, would support that would go to this wall being built, the deportation movement, etc., etc. So I think I mentioned that.
So these are his own words. These are his own words that he said with his own mouth. And guys, I promise you, from today, I am going to listen to you guys. I know that sometimes I tend to ignore some of the things that you guys say on the comment section. Sometimes I do not take it seriously. But from today, I promise you guys that I am going to listen to what you guys are saying, because clearly, as a young person, some of you are actually older than me, so you actually have more experience than me. Some of you have been engaged in politics way before I was even born. And now I'm starting to learn what does it actually mean. Ibrahim Rasool said all of those things with his own mouth. Nobody forced him. Nobody put a gun on his head to actually say all of those things that he said. And when you guys said that the mainstream media is going to blame AfriForum and Solidarity for it, I laughed and said that there's absolutely no way. And I am here to tell you guys that I was wrong. I was totally wrong, and you guys were actually correct to say that the mainstream media is not going to hold the person that said all of those things with his own mouth, but they are going to blame AfriForum for this. So there's an interview that Khaligril did with ENCA about the expulsion of Ibrahim Rasool after attacking the Trump administration. And guys, I don't want you to listen to a lot of things. I don't want you to listen to a lot of things. I just want you to pay attention to the first question that this lady from ENCA is going to ask Khaligril. And this first question alone, it tells you that the mainstream media is totally out of its mind. We cannot trust the mainstream media. The mainstream media right now, it is the enemy of the people. This is what Donald Trump used to say, that the mainstream media is the enemy of the people. And nobody can convince me otherwise. Nobody can convince me otherwise. I just want you to pay attention to the first question that this lady is going to ask Khaligril.
Do you as AfriForum take any responsibility for the expulsion of Rasool?
Let's repeat the question. I'm going to play it now and I'm going to play it again 2 more times. I want us to listen to this question, and I don't think I can even try to make sense of this question.
Do you as AfriForum take any responsibility for the expulsion of Rasool?
And this is the last time.
Do you as AfriForum take any responsibility for the expulsion of Rasool?
So, first of all, why must AfriForum take responsibility for something that they didn't do? AfriForum didn't send that idiot to the United States of America to actually attack the Trump administration. So when you say that, do you as AfriForum take responsibility for the expulsion of Rasool, what is it exactly are you trying to say? What is it exactly are you trying to say? Because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So why would AfriForum take responsibility for something that Rasool said himself, instead of actually interviewing that terrorist-loving guy, the pro-Iran, pro-Hamas guy? Instead of actually asking him this question, you are asking AfriForum this question. What is it exactly that AfriForum must actually say? What is it that AfriForum must actually say? I mean, guys.
Do you as AfriForum take any responsibility for the expulsion of Rasool?
No, of course not. The fact is, it was Mr. Rasool that attacked the US president. It was Mr. Rasool that attacked the United States. It was Mr. Rasool on social media that bragged about him having regalia of Hamas signed by Hamas leaders. It is Mr. Rasool that has a long history of anti-Western sentiments. So he should take responsibility for his...
And guys, if we are being honest, I'm sorry guys, if we are being honest, why would the president of this country actually send someone who is pro-Hamas, pro-Iran, to be the ambassador of South Africa? Because that alone, it is clear as day that they wanted to antagonize the United States of America. They know exactly how the US feels about Hamas. They know exactly how the US feels about Iran. And our president of the country actually sends someone who is pro those people to be the ambassador of the United States. So are you guys telling me that it wasn't intentional for these people to actually send that terrorist-loving guy to be the ambassador of South Africa? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? It is clear as day that it was intentional. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew that if we send this guy to the US, this is as good as antagonizing the United States of America. This is as good as antagonizing the United States of America. Because anybody with a brain between their ears, there's no way that they would have done that. There's no way that they would have done that. But for some reason, we as this country, we said that, yeah, since we are in love with Hamas, and since we are in love with Iran, let's just take someone who represents all of these things that the ANC loves to be the ambassador of South Africa. It was intentional. It was intentional. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Do you as AfriForum take any responsibility for the expulsion of Rasool?
No, of course not. The fact is, it was Mr. Rasool that attacked the US president. It was Mr. Rasool that attacked the United States. It was Mr. Rasool on social media that bragged about him having regalia of Hamas signed by Hamas leaders. It is Mr. Rasool that has a long history of anti-Western sentiments. So he should take responsibility for his own behavior. I think it has really become a very old story to try and blame AfriForum for everything that is going wrong. In this case, it is Mr. Rasool should take responsibility, and also, of course, Minister Lamola that found it fit to appoint an anti-American person as ambassador to the US. That is not very clever. Actually, it is gambling with the future of South African people.
Who would you say, Kali, should be the next ambassador? Who would you suggest or propose?
Well, of course, we don't prescribe to the South African government who they should appoint, but what we can say, we believe it should be somebody that is cool-headed, somebody that is not ideologically driven, somebody that would want to find a solution to the current conflict, and somebody that is willing to come up or support proposals. We have certain proposals that we believe can solve this conflict. And we need somebody that have access also from the government side to the US government to make sure that there can be negotiations for solutions. And I think that is possible, and the right person needs to be appointed.
So you say the right person, you say certain proposals, but you don't have any name that you could put out there that you would propose as AfriForum?
It doesn't matter even if they propose a name. It's not like they're going to take it into consideration. It doesn't matter. We don't need to send the people who actually hate the United States to be the ambassador of this country. It is simple as that. You don't have to send someone who hates America to be the ambassador of South Africa in the United States, because this is what is going to happen. Ibrahim Rasool clearly hated the United States of America. Ibrahim Rasool clearly had no respect for the country that was hosting him. So even if AfriForum gives you a name, it's not like the ANC is going to say, yes, this is the name that AfriForum gave to us, and we are going to send this person to the United States. They are not going to do that. They are not going to do that. So it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. What actually matters is that you don't have to send someone who doesn't love the United States to be the ambassador of this country. You don't have to.
Well, no, if the government says they'll listen to a proposal from ours, we will definitely be looking for a person that we think would be appropriate.
Yeah,
I think they're asking people, but we don't need an ideologist going that puts ideology above the interests of South Africa and its people. And there are people like that, many of them.
So this is how the mainstream media has actually decided to take this thing, by actually trying to blame AfriForum for the expulsion of Ibrahim Rasool. This is the mainstream media for you guys. This is the mainstream media for you guys. These are the people that are supposedly bringing the news to a lot of people. Guys, this actually brings me to that issue when I said that, in this country we don't actually have the political parties that are representing us as the people. We don't have political parties that are representing us as the people. I remember before the elections, I said that it is so weird that we don't have a political party that is fighting for the people of this country to actually get the internet. Because the internet, it is where the people will actually get the information. Majority of the people in this country are depending on the mainstream media, and the mainstream media is feeding them lies. This is why it is so important for a political party to actually fight for the people of this country to have the internet, so that they can see the lies that the mainstream media is actually spouting to them. They can actually read the news by themselves. They can read the blogs of the independent journalists in this country, because the internet, it is the source of the information. But for some reason in this country, we don't even have a single political party that said that we are going to fight for the people to actually have the information. We are going to fight for the people of this country to have the internet. We are going to fight all of these internet service providers so that they can provide cheaper internet services for the people, so that the people can actually be on this side. It is so weird. It is so weird. And the next thing, you will see all of these political parties trying to run their campaigns on the internet, forgetting that they didn't fight for the people to see these campaigns of theirs on the internet. And they actually get surprised when they get a couple of votes during the elections. So how is it possible that a political party can actually say that we are not going to fight for the people to have the access to the information? We are going to ignore the fact that the majority of the people in this country, they need the internet. But when it comes to campaign, the same political parties are on the internet trying to campaign. So who is it exactly are you campaigning for? Who is it exactly are you campaigning for? Because the majority of the people do not have the internet. Who is it exactly are you campaigning for? And out of thousands of political parties that we have in this country, there is not a single political party that is actually fighting for the people to have the access of the information. There is not a single political party, and I find it very shameful that in 2025, there is no one that is actually fighting a real fight so that people can have the access of the information. I find it very, very shameful. And this is why I say that the majority of these political parties that we have, they are not fighting for the interest of the people. They are only fighting for their own interest. They are not fighting for the interest of the people. Because it is shameful. It is shameful. Sometimes, like my heart actually breaks sometimes when I do these videos, and deep down in my heart, I know that the people that I'm trying to communicate to, they are never going to see these videos. This is one thing that actually breaks my heart every day when I get on this platform. I know that majority of the people that I'm trying to communicate to are never going to see these videos. I don't mind the people who can actually afford. The people who can afford, it is fine. They can afford, they can watch at any given time. But the people that we are really trying to change their minds are never going to see these videos. They are never going to see them. How are they going to see these videos when we are talking about the rot of the ANC? How are they going to see these videos when we are trying to talk about what is happening in this country? They are never going to see these videos because they don't have the internet. They cannot afford to be on YouTube to watch the videos all day. They cannot afford that. They cannot afford that. They are not working. They are unemployed. They cannot afford that. And if you can really think about it, there are a lot of people that are actually talented and can actually contribute a lot to what is happening in this country via the internet. There are a lot of them. It's just that they are in the townships. They are unemployed. They don't have the money. There are people that are talented. There are a lot of people that are talented. There are a lot of people that always debate about politics in the townships. But it is unfortunate that their views cannot go out because they don't have the access to the internet. They don't have the resources to actually make it happen. This is why it is important to ensure that as many people as possible they are on the internet. If we can get that done, I'm telling you, this is how the revolution is actually going to this is how we are going to initiate the revolution. We are not talking about that stupid revolution from the people from the left. The people of the left, they are talking about the revolution. We are not talking about that revolution. We are talking about a real revolution of actually speaking the truth, a real revolution of actually saving this country. This is the kind of revolution that we are talking about. We are not talking about that stupid revolution of these people from the left telling us about Jacob Zuma and how Jacob Zuma is a messiah. We are not talking about that. We are not talking about that. We are talking about the real revolution that is going to set the people of this country free. This is what we are talking about. But for some reason, we don't have the people that are genuinely fighting so that the majority of the people in this country can have the access of the information. Because I can tell you right now, if we can get more people on these platforms, the more the merrier. If we can get people on these platforms, I'm telling you, a lot can actually be achieved. A lot can be achieved. But for some reason, we are not. But for some reason, we are not getting those. It is sad, man. It is sad. It is sad. You know, I remember when Prince Mashele said that these political parties that we have today are not going to set South Africa free. All of these political parties that we have today, they are not going to set South Africa free. We need a political party that is going to emerge, a political party that is going to highlight how important it is for the people of this country to actually work together. A political party that is not going to push for divisions, but a political party that is going to enforce unity in this country. A political party that is going to understand that as much as we are different, but we need each other in this country. All of us, we need each other. We need a political party that is not going to thrive on division, a political party that is not going to thrive on racism, but a political party that is going to thrive on the truth and actually pushing for the people of this country to work together. It is unfortunate that right now, as we speak, we don't have that kind of political party. We don't have that kind of a political party. And I understand how hard it is going to be for us to actually get that political party, because even me, myself, as someone who is trying to push for us to work together, to understand that we are different, but for some reason we have to work together in this country. This country cannot survive if we are divided. This country cannot survive. The only people that are going to succeed when we are divided, it is the politicians. This is the reason why they love the division so much. This is the reason why they love the racism so much. This is why the identity politics and the racial politics are thriving in this country, because without racial politics and identity politics, there is nothing that South African politicians can actually offer you. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing that they can offer to the people of this country. This is what they are only offering to the people. This is what they are offering to the people. I remember the other day, I met such two boys at the shop, and one of these guys was actually speaking in Afrikaans, and he was trying to communicate with this other guy in Afrikaans, and the other guy said that, no, I don't want anything to do with this Afrikaans because I don't want the language of the people who actually hates me. And I said, guy, what is it that the Afrikaners have done to you specifically? Don't tell me about something that you didn't even experience. What is it that the Afrikaners have actually done to you? He couldn't answer me. And right then, I actually saw how dangerous the identity politics and the racial politics are. Because right now, you have the people that are raised in hate. They are raised in hate. They hate what they don't even understand. They hate what they don't even understand. And this is one aspect that the South African politicians have actually won, to divide the people by race. To divide the people by race and to thrive on that division. Right now, they are making it as black and white. Soon enough, the same black people, they will be cut by tribes. This is how far the politicians are willing to go, so that they can continue ruling the people. This is how they are willing to go. And unfortunately, majority of the people cannot actually see that this is what the politicians are doing. Right now, they think, yeah, it is us, it is black people. Oh my God, we are fighting this fight. Before you even know it, the same black people will be divided by tribes. They will say that, no, the Pedis cannot get along with the Sothos. No. You as the Pedis, you cannot get along with the Sothos. You, the Zulus, the Xhosas, it cannot happen. Before you even know it, the same black people will be divided by tribes. This is what we call tribalism. And tribalism is more dangerous than racism. Because right now, tribalism, you have the people that actually have the same skin color, but they hate each other. And this is how far the politicians are willing to go. But unfortunately, the people that we have in this country, they are not even, like we have, I don't even know how to describe the South African voters. The people in this country, man, they don't know politics. They don't know politics. And they don't know how dirty the politicians are. They don't know what length the politicians are willing to take to divide them. They don't know. They absolutely have no idea. They have no idea. This is why every time when we speak about the ANC voters, I get furious, man. I would sweat right now if I were to speak about the ANC voters. I would sweat bullets if I have to speak about the ANC voters. And because the ANC voters are the epitome of South African voters. If you want to understand how the South African voters actually think, just look at the ANC voters. And if you sit down and actually think about it, it will make you very mad. It will make you very mad at the kind of voters that we have. Because you have the people that are complaining about how bad things are in this country. You have the people that actually have an understanding of the damage that the ANC has done to this country. And these people will spend 5 years complaining and protesting about how bad things are in this country. And these people will talk about the corruption, they will talk about the mismanagement, they will talk about everything concerning the ANC and saying that the ANC, it is a curse to this country. But when it comes to voting, the same people that have been complaining about the ANC, they will go out and vote for the same ANC. This is where we average, this is where we sane people actually get mad. We get furious because these people are a majority. We get furious. And some of these people will say that, no. I am never going to vote for the ANC. I'm done with the ANC. I don't want anything to do anymore with the ANC because the ANC has destroyed my life. The ANC has destroyed the future of my children. So I don't want to vote for the ANC anymore. Guess what? The same person will go out and vote for Umkhonto weSizwe Party. Forgetting that when Jacob Zuma announced Umkhonto weSizwe Party, he said that Umkhonto weSizwe Party is not here to destroy the ANC, but Umkhonto weSizwe Party is here to save the ANC. So they stop voting for the ANC, but they vote for a political party that is said to vote to save the ANC. This is what we are dealing with in this country. And this is what we are dealing with in this country. These are the kind of voters that we have. And if you take the voters of the ANC, 40%, if you take the voters of Umkhonto weSizwe Party, 15%, it is 55. If you take the voters of the EFF, is 9%, it is something like 64. The voter base of this country that actually loves the kind of politics that is detrimental to them, it is 64%. It means that the political parties on the right or the political parties that are trying to bring sense, they have not moved the needle. Because when we talk about the politicians and the political parties that are 100% sure are going to destroy this country, we have 65% of them. The voter base of those political parties is 65. Leaves what? 20% for the DA is 85. The DA 20%, 22. And these other political parties are scrambling for like what, 14%? It means that the political parties like the DA, they have not moved the needle when it comes to actually convincing majority of the people in this country that, guys, these are not the policies that you want. These are not the type of political parties you actually want to represent you. They have not moved the needle. They have not moved the needle. If one day, Jacob Zuma, Cyril Ramaphosa, and Julius Malema decides to put their differences aside and join the forces, you guys are going to wish that apartheid would be back. This is how bad things are. You guys are going to wish that apartheid would be back. Right now, the only thing that is actually keeping this country a bit sane, it is the fact that these three political parties, these three leaders, they seem to butt heads. You remember that Umkhonto we Party, they said, we don't have a problem working with the ANC, but it's just that we don't want to work with Cyril Ramaphosa. And Julius Malema told the ANC that we want to take Cyril Ramaphosa to jail. We believe that Cyril Ramaphosa is a criminal. But I'm saying that if Julius Malema, Cyril Ramaphosa, and Jacob Zuma decides to put their differences aside, these people will have 65%. They will implement all the radical policies that you can think of. They will implement all of those. And guess who is going to suffer? The people on the ground. The same people that have enabled these people are the ones that are going to cry. So for right now, you guys have to pray that these three political parties do not work together. Just pray that they don't work together. During the elections, they almost worked together. Almost! They almost got into governance together. But because of the tensions between these three political parties, they were going to fight. Because all of them, they love money, they love luxury. So it was never going to work. But if they decide to work together, all hell will break loose. I'm telling you, all hell will actually break loose. So guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye bye.